You just crossed over into the female zone.
So my grandmother brought it to my attention today that the reason why I'm nearly 23 without a husband is because I wear rings, and that no man is gonna bother a woman wearing rings because he thinks she's married. I'm sorry, does she know what generation we live in? These are just accessories. No, I'm not married. No man in my life, okay? That's the reason why. They see the ring and they're not gonna bother you. Oh, sweet little granny. You poor thing. I'm the poor thing, actually. No.
Sorry. The voices.
Oh, sweet little granny, you poor thing. Sweetie, you know what? She's the grandmother who's lived a long life. She's seen a lot and knows a lot, and you are the 23-year-old who's got no man. I mean, I wouldn't stop at just the rings. I'm talking about all that hardware in your face. You may want to pull all that out. That's just a start. Listen, I'm pretty sure that your granny has good intentions, but I don't think she went deep enough with this, because obviously you have some issues, girl. I mean, you're making this video hugging some kind of doll there with all the hardware all over yourself and saying, oh, you poor granny, you don't know a dang thing. Well, you don't have a man. I mean, sweetie, maybe you should sell all that junk and use the money for some therapy, because you obviously need some kind of help. My question to a girl like this and the women from her generation, what does she think that's going to work? I mean, yeah, talk down to your granny, but how do you think you're going to get a man? What's your plan? As the saying goes, modern problems require modern solutions. So what's your modern solution? Oh, making TikToks. Yeah, that'll get you a man. Sweetie, maybe you should try something. I mean, why don't you try to look, I don't know, a little bit more soft or a little bit more feminine instead of trying to look like an anime character. Maybe that'll help you get a man. I'm not saying that your grandmother is 100% right, but I'm going to say she is on the right track. And you, honey, are on the track of one thing and one thing only. That will be this future path that you have laid out that's going to be full of a lot of bad decisions. Before we move on, I want to say thank you, fam, to all of my subscribers for supporting this channel. I truly appreciate all of you who leave comments, who like my videos, and share them on other social media platforms. I truly gotta say thanks, fam. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, I thank you for tuning in, and I hope you decide to hit that subscribe button. Moving on!
So I've said this many times before. I think 90% of men don't know how to sleep with a woman, how to satisfy a woman. I think they can do the act, but the woman is never fully satisfied. And I believe that men should learn how to take their time, learn to know a woman's body, and instead they're always just rushing to get to the finish line. And it's a very selfish on their part, because they just care about their own pleasure and they're not really trying to please the person that they're with. And I don't care if this is a relationship or someone you're hooking up with for the night. Remember that this person is going to remember you by how you perform. So put on your best performance, please. And please that girl. It's not that hard. Just take your time. Don't just rush to come.
It's got electrolytes.
Sweetheart, this girl is going to agree with the message that you're trying to get out here, but here's one thing that I got to say. You got to be fair across the board. And what I mean by that is, you said a key thing there that, oh, men are just being selfish. Here's the thing. You can't just throw that out there and say, you men are being selfish because you're trying to finish it super quickly, if you're not going to stop and acknowledge the other half of the selfishness. And what I mean by that is, before men and women have sex, in most cases, men and women are looking for two different things. I'm sorry. Women aren't looking for sex when they meet a guy, or at least most women don't. Women are actually looking for the guy's attention. Most women value that above the sex. Men are looking for the sex with a woman. And when you said, oh, that's selfish, well, what about all the cases of the men who give women what they want up front? They give them that attention. They basically do everything the woman wants, and they still get rejected, and the men don't get what they want. So then what happens? This actually creates a situation where these men who are used to getting rejected, they're thinking, all right, screw it. When I finally get what I want, I'm just going to be selfish, because women have been selfish all this time. I give them all the attention they want, but I don't get what I want back. I'm finally getting what I want. I'm going to enjoy this for me, not for you. Again, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you got to see the other side of the coin. Imagine if the roles were reversed. You had to give a man sex first to see if he gives you attention later. If you think of it that way, then maybe women will start to understand men better. Moving on.
I'm 31. My boyfriend and I, that we've been dating since February, broke up. And I'm so sick of dating really wonderful people and it just not working out. Mutually, we're just not each other's person. And it's so hard to date somebody for 3 months, 6 months, get to know them, and then you just know that it's not your person, and then you have to walk away. And I'm lucky, silver lining, I consistently date really wonderful people, but it never works out. And sometimes I wish it was like they were people, but I don't want to date people. So dating in general is hard. If they're that sucks, and even if they're wonderful, it can kind of be hard too.
You're a victim. Here we go, CSI.
Hold up. Let this gorilla get this straight. You're saying that your boyfriend, who you were dating since February, so let's say roughly like 4 months, you broke up, and you're saying that the pattern is that you date wonderful people. Let's be honest, you were dating men. You were dating wonderful men, and you date them between 3 to 6 months, and you find out that they're not your person, and you break up, and you have to start all over again. Sweetheart, listen, it's good that you're actually acknowledging that you're dating wonderful men. So you're not dating jerks, I'm assuming. You're actually dating guys of better value. So I have to assume here that the problem is you. There's something about you that's not making it work out, because I'm sorry, if you dated multiple guys and they're all wonderful guys, i.e. long-term relationship material guys, that's usually how women define if a guy's wonderful and it hasn't worked out up until now and you're in your 30s, sweetheart, you gotta take a deep look in that mirror. Something there's not adding up. Your internal math is not mathing, because you being the factor, 1 + 1 is equal to none. You know what, sister? This girl is gonna advise that you get off of social media, stop dating for a while, go seek some professional help, and try to pinpoint what it is about you that's not making this work out. There's an ingredient wrong in your recipe, and your dishes are just not fantastic. That souffle always lands flat with you. Good luck, sweetheart. Moving on.
This video is for all the women out there who still crave a romantic relationship with a man. First of all, there's no shame in it. Despite the whole decenter men movement, there's no shame in it, so let's start there. Also, side note, it's just occurring to me that I'm alive during the time when we had to tell women that it's okay to not feel shame for wanting a man, when for all of recorded history, it's been the opposite. The tides, they are a-turning. This is the process that I want you to do, and really this process can be useful for like anything in life. I want you to list out all of the things that you want, that you hope to get by being loved by a man. And if you're not sure about this, go to your daydreams. Like, what is it that you envision when you envision being loved by a man? Are you envisioning waking up on a Sunday in bed with his like loving gaze at you? Are you envisioning taking him home to meet your family? Are you envisioning like the hard launch or soft launch on social media? Do not label any of these daydreams like shallow or bad or whatever. The only way you're going to be able to do this excavation work is if you don't bring judgment to it. So let's say that your daydream is the like waking up on a Sunday morning to a man gazing lovingly at you. Ask yourself, what would I feel in that moment? What would be the feelings that are making me feel so good in that moment? Is it a feeling of being wanted? Is it a feeling of being safe? Is it a feeling of not being alone? Is it a feeling of being understood? Is it a combination of these feelings? Is it a feeling of like finally reaching like some adult milestone? Or is it a feeling of maybe having like an optimistic, view of the future because like maybe now your future is going to look different? Like, figure out what the craving is underneath the daydream. Like, do this for every daydream that you have. Take your time with it. Like, this took me a very long time. Then once you've identified the craving, I want you to ask these 3 questions about it. Is this particular need a need that is best met by a romantic partner, or would it be better to learn how to meet it on my own or through friendship, community, family? One example of this is that I had pretty significant anxiety for most of my life, and what I didn't realize was that I was really leaning into like finding a romantic partner who could basically help me regulate. I didn't know that's what I was after, but that's definitely probably the top thing that I was after. I found a partner who also spiraled and had anxiety, who was also very good at reading me and could tell that when I was in an anxiety spiral, even if I didn't tell him. And I thought, oh, okay, so this is gonna work. Like, nothing he said actually could get me out of it because it's an inside job. It's something I had to figure out how to do myself. Not a realistic need to outsource. And co-regulating can be a valuable thing you can get from a partner or a friend, but dealing with anxiety spirals and panic attacks is something that it's best handled by yourself. So after question 1, if the answer to the question is still no, the romantic partner is the best person to get that from, then you move on to question 2. So let's say sexual pleasure. Then I want you to ask, in all my previous relationships, has this need ever actually been fulfilled? How often was it fulfilled? Was it fulfilled for the entirety of the relationship or only a portion of the relationship? Like, get in there, dig. write this shit down. Go on little archaeological excavations of your internal self. Like, really give yourself the time. So if you've gotten 2 positive questions, like, yes, this is a need best met by a romantic partner. Yes, it has been something I've been able to get in romantic relationships prior. Then I want you to ask the 3rd question. What was the cost of you getting that need met? I want you to list out everything that cost you. And it may just be, oh, it cost me having to like be willing to compromise, because relationships involve compromise. But maybe it involves something even worse than that, right? Maybe it involves enduring a hot and cold relationship that made you question your self-worth. Maybe it cost you like actual money because you end up financially supporting them or having to go through an expensive divorce. Be very for real with yourself about the costs. And then I guess I also have a 4th question, which, if I never met a romantic partner who could meet the needs that I need to be met, or who could do so without costing me more than I'm willing to pay, is there another way that I could get this need met? Like, if it's a sexual pleasure one, could I have a friend with benefits maybe? Could I get a toy? I want you to really get this point. You are worthy of being explored, but also you are your best explorer. Do yourself the honor, the act of great love of doing this work. And when you do this work and you get clarity on all the things you're actually wanting, what you're willing to give in exchange for those things, and perhaps also a backup way to get needs met, once you have all of that done, you are going to get clarity about whether you actually still want romantic relationships, what kind of romantic relationships you want, and the process that you're willing to go through in order to get them. I want you to do all of this with the backdrop of knowing the statistics that typically single women are happier than women who are partnered with men. I want you to know that if you do pursue this, you are in pursuit of being an exception to the rule. And almost everybody that's in pursuit is also in the pursuit of being the exception to the rule. Nobody expects to be the rule, and yet most women are. And I need you to commit to yourself that in your pursuit of romantic love, throughout your exploration of romantic love, that you will do maybe seasonal, quarterly check-ins about where you stand, where your happiness is, and be brave enough to tell yourself the truth of your own experience, regardless of what that means.
Sweetie, that entire rant that you made, you actually revolved it all around the false statement that single women are happier. I'm sorry. That's been debunked a whole bunch of times. Not just by studies, but more importantly by women who grow old alone and they come back and they say their regrets. I'm sorry, there is such a thing as divorce regret. A lot of women regret their divorces, especially when they leave their husband for a boy toy, and then years down the road, the boy toy leaves, and then they're like, oh man, I had a great husband. I lost him for a fling. But anyway, your questions are basically based off of what can a man do for me? It's always me, 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 me. You did say a part there that, oh, how much is it going to cost you? But come on, let's be real. Rarely does a woman ever pay out in a divorce. Over 90% of all divorces, women get the payout. So don't come with the cost thing, all right? So the thing about, oh, is my need going to be met by a partner? Was the best sex I had? In other words, how can I compare him to a guy in the past? And is there an alternate way to getting this need met? Okay, sweetheart, notice that at no point did you actually say, what can you provide a man? It's all about, okay, what can this man do for me? I didn't hear at one point where you said to a woman to ask themselves, what can I provide for this man? What am I bringing to the table? Note that men ask this question all the time. Why? Because men are very conscious that, hey, this is what I'm bringing to the table. Stability, leadership, protection, all these assets, finances. What are you bringing to the table? Oh, you're bringing questions to see what I'm going to give you, what you're going to get out of this. Hey, sweetie, this girl is going to save you a lot of heartache. Why don't you just follow that first saying of you're going to be happier being single and just keep going with that. Take that all the way to the retirement home. I mean, if the majority of the time that's what's going to happen, why risk it being with a man, right?
Because it's mind-boggling to you, yeah. I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund. Or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.